You wake up, yawn, scroll your phone, and notice something's off. Every tweet, every email, every billboard now reads in a language you've never seen before. But somehow you understand it perfectly. No translation needed. English, Mandarin, Swahili, Russian, emoji hieroglyphics. All gone, fused into one shiny new tongue. Welcome to day one of Globish, the world's first and only universal language. At first, it's kind of amazing. No more Google Translate fails. No more guessing what your shampoo bottle instructions are trying to say. You walk into a restaurant in Paris and order confidently without fearing you'll accidentally ask for fried grandmother. Global travel becomes smoother than a buttered hoverboard. You can finally understand anime without subtitles and sing K-pop with correct pronunciation. Karaoke night gets intense. In schools, language classes are thrown into chaos. Spanish 101 cancelled, French exams irrelevant, Latin teachers go full existential crisis. Instead, students now study classic English like it's Shakespearean fossil fuel. The phrase "Me llamo Jake" becomes historical gibberish, and Duolingo becomes a nostalgic museum of suffering. Politics shift overnight. International diplomacy speeds up. UN meetings no longer require 20 translators whispering simultaneously. World leaders now argue in perfect sync, which is somehow even scarier. Diplomatic misunderstandings drop, but so do creative insults. Cultural nuance gets replaced with blunt efficiency. Meanwhile, literature takes a hit. Poets weep. Whole careers dedicated to preserving endangered languages are suddenly obsolete. Libraries begin reprinting every book in Globish, though Tolkien fans are furious. What about Elvish? Shakespeare in Globish reads more like a software license agreement. Beautiful? Maybe. Romantic? Not really. Technology booms. Code languages are more compatible, software interfaces unify, and voice assistants no longer fumble names like Shivan or Xochitl. Siri now pronounces everything correctly, and honestly, it's unsettling. Also, autocorrect becomes smug. But let's talk culture. Language isn't just a tool, it's a carrier of history, humor, identity. With one global language, fun suffer. Idioms die. The delightful nonsense of British slang vanishes. You can no longer say, "It's raining cats and dogs," unless you literally mean it. Sarcasm becomes clearer. Great news for robots, terrible news for dry comedians. Then comes the weird part. What do we lose? Without linguistic variety, entire ways of thinking disappear. Ancient philosophies, cultural metaphors, even jokes vanish or flatten. There's no word-for-word replacement for Schadenfreude or Gezelligkeit, or that untranslatable Portuguese feeling you get while dancing under string lights in an alley at 2 a.m. You know the one. People begin missing their mother tongues. Not because Globish is bad, it's actually quite elegant, but because their language was them. It held their grandma's lullabies, their inside jokes, that one phrase your dad always shouted at the TV during soccer. Without it, everyone feels a little standard. After a week, nostalgia rises. People start slipping old words into Globish sentences like rebellious spice. Phrases reappear as slang, as music lyrics, as tattoos. Globish absorbs them, evolves. Because that's the thing about language, it refuses to stay still. Even the one meant to unify us all can't help but fracture, remix, personalize. In the end, we realize something important. A shared language can bring us closer. Yes, but it's our differences that make the conversation interesting. So maybe it's okay if we don't always understand each other perfectly. Sometimes it's the mispronunciations, the mistranslations, The beautiful confusion that remind us we're human. Globish might rule the dictionary, but hearts still speak in accent.